Hello right bags, it's Joe Plays Games with another Fallout 76 video. Make sure you've liked this video and let's crack on with all the latest on Fallout 76. Today has been a day that loads of YouTubers and game newslets have finally got hands-on experience with Fallout at an event and have been releasing loads of footage. Bethesda have also released this huge post detailing all the key features of Fallout 76. It's about time. We have finally got a real conclusive rundown of what Fallout 76 is going to be, what it contains and what it really means for fans of Fallout and brand new players to the franchise. Ever since the reveal of Fallout 76 there has been an umpteenth amount of information coming from news interviews, from game outlets, from YouTubers, loads of information that's been great and sometimes information that's maybe not been 100% correct, or in fact the developers haven't been very clear on what Fallout 76 will contain. So I do think it's great they've finally actually gone out and done something and put it all in one spot. I'm going to still be showing you lots of footage from other aspects that I've picked up on that maybe aren't in this post, but I do want to go through it all because it really enforces what Fallout 76 is going to be, and it hopefully puts to ease what people are worried about with the game, or it may give you enough information to say, you know what, this game just isn't for me. So very much like from Fallout 4, you can see here the workshop returns with a wide variety of structures and defences to build using scavenger components and new structures like resource collectors to mine veins of components found in the world. On top of that is the camp, and that is going to be your personal construction and assembly mobile platform. It's your home base, you can move it from anywhere you want and it will enable you to have a fast travel and respawn point. If you want to move your camp you can do, everything is stored inside, it's blueprinted, and just as quickly as you take it apart you can put it back out once you find a perfect location. But you can also, new information, keep copies of a build. So say you design something and you think it's really suitable for that particular area but you want to adjust it and move somewhere else, but then maybe you come back to somewhere different that you think that design worked better, you'll be able to just have your copies there. And it says here, this way if your settlement is nuked or raided by other players you won't have to worry about starting over from scratch. This is real confirmation that bases will be raidable. We've known that camps can take damage in the past, we've known from excerpts and Twitter posts that that's the way they were going to go. But what we didn't know exactly was how it really worked. If you're worried about absolutely getting wiped out and all your items going, don't worry, you have got a special stash. This container that keeps stuff safe and permanently in your possession. Now maybe you're out in the world and you don't really want to access your camp, or you can't, then you can access your stash at train stations and red rocket stations. Another big component obviously is the workshops and where you're going to fight over them. They'll give you free building materials for crafting workbenches, mining resources, building defences to help keep on top of the creatures that are going to attack you once you try to actually start up or claim a workshop for your own. Workshops really are going to be more of a multiplayer focus. It's where you're going to be going with a group of friends trying to take ownership of a workshop from the enemies that will spawn there, that will attack you in a horde style event, or players that already own that area. Once you've cleared them out, you then claim that area as your own and you can put base defences, turrets, you name it. So you're going to be able to build your own little base off the beaten track, somewhere really hidden, and you won't have to worry about people raiding you because it won't appear when you're offline. But if you want more of a sort of task or something to defend against, basically something to work towards, then going and finding these workshops, making them your own and then defending them against other players is going to give you more of a purpose. And it's also going to give you the benefit of reduced building materials or getting free building materials. Now survival is a big part of it. They were keen to stress it wasn't a survival game when it launched or just after it launched in interviews. But all the survival elements are there. You need to eat, you need to drink to keep yourself well fed. You'll get bonuses and buffs if you do so. You can get diseases though that will harm you and will debuff you, and you'll have to take medication or some sort of item to really give yourself back up to normal speed. Mutations are also negative action. While they do give you some positive benefits, some mutations will also give you negatives. You can avoid these by just simply making sure you don't get too irradiated, sleeping in safe beds, eating cooked food and drinking clean water. But when you do catch a mutation, it is permanent as far as I'm aware, unless there is some sort of way they're going to implement that you can take it off. You can see from the trailer, as we've seen before, it turns into this sort of bunny creature. You will get a more of ability to jump, but it has got a negative and maybe your stamina is reduced slightly. So it's pros and cons of having mutations. Your equipment's going to break down and you're going to need to repair it all the time. All items in terms of weapons and armor do degrade. So you're either going to have to get new ones or recraft stuff or repair. Everything's got weight, so you're going to have to really weigh up how much ammo you have carrying around, because even ammo weighs stuff. Progression has been touted and have gone into detail in the past in the Q&A at QuakeCon, talking about exactly how the perk system works. Special does return: strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility and luck. You will appoint 1 point to any of these special categories up until level 50. You'll then also be able to equip a perk card related to that category, up to 15 perk cards. So in each strength, perception, endurance, you can have up to 15 cards that help you gain bonuses. But you do have to have the corresponding levels, so you are going to need to pump your points into strength to be able to fill it up with 15 perk cards. You'll get a perk card every time you level up, and you'll also get randomised perk cards. These will appear at milestones. They've previously said you'll get one every 2 ranks up to level 10, and then after that every 5 ranks. These random perk packs will give you an opportunity to try new ones. They could be absolutely random, and some of them may be higher level than you're currently at, to give you a taste of what to come or something to try and tinker around with or experiment with. There's going to be a bunch that are team focused or individual focused. And I've already seen from gameplay footage that you can actually share some of these perks with the rest of your team. Someone did receive a lock picking perk card and they was able to share that out with the rest of the team so that everyone gained level 1 in lock picking perk. If you get the same perk card, you can combine them to increase their levels and increase the damage and their bonuses attached. You can see in this picture here the through hiker, it's level 2. Now if you want to equip that, you do need to have more points in that actual stat. But it seems like they definitely will be worth it. A lot of these level 2, level 3, going up all even up to level 4 and I imagine level 5. So we said it before that you will be able to fast travel to your camp, but you'll also be able to fast travel to anyone in your team. Any location you've discovered, you can fast travel to it and it will cost you a few caps. However, if you've got teammates, you can spawn to them anytime you want, or your camp, or the Vault 76 entrance, for absolutely free. So if another player has taken you on in PvP and maybe you've responded, you can be revived by other players. And this obviously goes for facing mobs in the world as well. You'll simply have to use a stim pack to help you up, and then you can carry on healing yourself and go about your way. If you don't make it that far, you can respawn any location from fast travel on the world map as long as you discovered it, or like I said, spawn on your teammates. When you die, you're going to drop all your collected junk, i.e. all the building stuff you've been gathering and getting for building your base, and when you respawn you'll get a brand new quest to go and retrieve it. When you do get one of these quests, there are specific perk cards that will give you extra bonuses, or to you or a helper, in getting your stuff back. Some of these perk cards will allow you to revive players with alcohol, or even summon a mysterious stranger to help you out if you need it against other enemies or maybe even other players. Now if you get too heavy and you weigh too much, you're not going to be able to run and you're not going to be able to use the fast travel system. You can still jump and you'll move at normal speed, but your normal movement drains action points and your movement slows to a crawl when your AP runs out. To get back to your carry weight, you're going to have to drop your items or place your camp nearby and store excess items in your stash box for late use. You can also scrap all your junk at any workbench you come across. So the new map is fully coloured. It's a proper map. It's not going to be just the green highlighted on black that you're used to from previous Fallout games. Does give approximate location of other players. As you can see from the white dot, you will be able to see where players are always. Now it might not give the exact location, but you'll know they're in that area, as you can see even here across the river and along inside between this road and tracks. So if you want to avoid players, you can do by looking at the map and just making sure you don't go near that area. Now in the past they've said that when you crouch you won't show up on the map, so it remains to be seen whether that makes it into the full game once the beta starts. So I've already done a video talking about the PvP and how multiplayer and griefing works, but I am going to go over it again now it's all been put in one spot. If you shoot back at attacking players, you'll battle each other in a duel for caps. If you don't want to fight, incoming player damage is going to be reduced and you'll be able to run away. If a player does manage to hurt you enough that you die, they're going to be labelled wanted. Other players will then be able to put full damage on that player and claim a reward for killing him. You get nothing for killing some other players. You won't get any caps, you won't even get any junk. Only if they've shot back at you. And if you do get a bounty on your head, when another player kills that player, you will actually lose the bounty from your own caps. So there really isn't that much incentive for players to be griefing. It only really works if the other player responds and you both engage in PvP fully. Then you gain some caps from killing him and it's a worthwhile experience. I have showed you guys there is modes and I spoke about earlier with the events. Hunt or Hunted is a game mode or an event that inquires 4 people to join it and then you can take part in a sort of mini team deathmatch. Now combat is back and from what I've seen it's not great at the moment. VATS is there but it doesn't have slowdown. It'll be useful for maybe locating enemies in a certain area. And it does say here stealth factors into VATS and HUD visibility for player versus player combat. Every time you loot it's going to be different from what other players get. It's going to be radiant, you're not going to all just have the one chance to get that loot from that one ghoul, you'll all get something. If you do assist in killing any creature, every player gets the full XP. Now outfits and cosmetics have been a big deal. You're going to be using atoms to buy them off the actual store or earning them in game. Unlike previous games, you could only wear certain items that really fitted, otherwise you wouldn't have the armor benefits, but that's changed. You can wear any armor you want and then you can put any cosmetic item on top of it. So wear any raider armor and then go ahead and put a lovely dress on. I imagine that's going to expand and get bigger over time with lots of packs available to buy for real money, or like I said, you can earn them. Now atoms are going to be earned throughout the game. You'll be able to pick them up doing challenges. Now challenges are going to be all types, the usual sort of thing though, kill 50 ghouls, etc. As you level up in a game, the challenges for these may not be as frequent. And particularly as you get really used to the game, you might not find as many challenges available. But there are going to be daily challenges and weekly challenges added, and they're going to be refreshing these over time so that you've always got a chance to earn the currency to buy whatever cosmetic item you want. Now NPCs has been a real bone of contention. So many people are upset that there is no story in the game. This post really goes into detail trying to say that robots and AI surviving are going to give you that fix of story. Some of the robots are major quest givers and you'll get to know them well, but they really want it to be focused on players being the only living creatures in the world. There's going to be notes, holotapes, terminals, and these are all going to be left for you to complete little quests or just get a bit of backstory about where you are. Now events seem to have copied a little bit what goes on in Destiny. For most of these events though, PvP is going to be turned off and all incentives point to friendly cooperation. If you take part and you succeed, everyone succeeds. If you fail, then everyone fails. Rewards are going to be applied equally. And it says here they're ideally done with groups, but they can be completed by solo players as well. They do have some events for PvP only, but these are opt-in, and I imagine that's going to be something along the lines of the Hunt or Hunted. Supply drops do fall as well. These are dropped by the emergency services of Appalachia, which is the map that you're playing on. But they don't simply just drop randomly, you have to call them in. Every now and then you're going to come across a US supply requisition holotape. If you get to a radio tower, you can call in a supply drop and then it's going to actually land. But other players and enemies will see it, and so you probably will have to fight off some sort of creatures or other players to get the loot inside. Now nukes have been a big feature, and I've already done a video showing you the first gameplay that I've seen recorded live of actual nukes going off. Once they do go off, there's going to be brand new creatures and unique resources you're going to have to get high level gear from. It is end game stuff. You're going to have to complete the main quest line and then capture codes that will give you the codes to launch nuclear missiles. The post carries on with saying that post launch they plan to add a lot more to the game after its launch, and it's all going to be free. That post is probably the single best bit of information I've seen coming from Bethesda in months. They've given plenty of information out on social media and they've given lots of interviews, but in just one good place we've learned so much. It really confirms a lot of the stuff that was going around and also dispels a lot of the myths. Of course, there's loads of questions still to be answered, and there's going to be even more that arise from the beta. I'm going to be there guiding you through it. I'm hitting Fallout 76 in a big way. You can expect to see daily uploads, multiple daily uploads, showing you guides, tutorials and locations of the best loot. So make sure you've got notifications turned on, make sure you like this video and go and check out all the other Fallout 76 videos I've released today. I am Jade Plays Games. I will see you ratbags for another one very soon.